Hello YouTube, Draco Slayers and aspiring Dragon Slayers. My video today is about my real life experiences with Bearheart and the person who is different, known as Bearheart in his actual life. Bearheart is his outer court name of his magical personality. It is a symbol of that magical personality. I don't really know Bearheart very much. What you see in his videos is what you get, but I have experienced him as his magical personality in ritual once before. Since the last Mars Rider ritual, which I did participate in, he has moved to a small town, and so I ask that you keep his identity secret for those that have found out who he is, because of the nature of his work, as well as he has a very personally private life. Most of his family is unaware that he is even a witch or a magician. They may think that he is pagan, but I don't even think they're aware of that. He has a very small circle of trusted friends, although he does have a lot of friends in general, and is fairly well known as a pagan or witch in different circles. Bearheart in ritual is very authoritative, strong. His magic is very physical. However, it is tangible emotionally, his love and connection with the Prime Creator. He is very lawyer-esque in his contracts with spirits. However, his real life personality, he has not so much as ego. And I say that not in a bad way. He has a strong personality like I do, but it's different than Bearheart, even though there are some things that they have in common and will influence each other. He has very strong opinions politically, and he is very compassionate and nice, but this is not to be taken as a weakness. He has a great sense of humor. He is not over-exaggerating about his strength feats. I've seen him bend nails, bend a frying pan, and other strongman feats. When he was not in ritual, I have seen spirits around him, which he had later described before me volunteering that information, as well as I've heard him talking to spirits. Even though I could only hear part of the conversation, he would repeat some things that they were saying, and so I know that he's purely legit. For example, one spirit was mocking me and the other one was trying to make a deal with him. And I couldn't see the one mocking me as much, but the one that was trying to make a deal with him, I saw him in different forms. Now, I don't know if I made a video about this. I started making a Goods Book of Shadows from teachings on his blog and from videos and from private conversations. So I've just printed out the tarot cards that he talks about, and, for example, and what's been on the blog. Now, he doesn't release everything 100% of each ritual that you would need to know, but I have pretty good intuition, and I would ask him things. He'd verify them for me, just so that everything can't fall into the wrong hands. Information's very safe and pretty protected that he does give out. Now, he has a very magnetic aura, and by that I mean electromagnetic, which is magic, is the male and female polarities, and so it's a sexually attractive or magnetic personality that he has. When he talks about being the center of your universe and things revolving around you, that can help it happen with people in your life. And he's very aware of the hypnotic or magician's influence that can happen, and he does not abuse it that way. So I've heard of a couple females thinking that they're in love, but it's not real. and that's, responsibility of being a magician. I mean, he is very witty and he is handsome and very flirty, but I would say more just friendly. He also has a couple spirits around him that are satyrs, and satyrs are the male equivalent of nymphs, and so they can play romantic tricks on you as well. Just be forewarned. A lot of people would like to meet him, and I don't blame them, but I don't speak for him, but I think what he would like is for us to actually practice the information that he's giving us, because he can't do it for us. And it doesn't matter how knowledge hungry you are if you want more and more information, because if you don't practice it, it's going to be useless for you. His astral body is very well protected. I tried to search him out, and I was met by, I guess one of his friends was an astral scout. Now I'm allowed to see him at will, but and I saw his true astral form once, which kind of shocked me. I won't go into what it was, but he verified it. But I've also met him in the Shed of Rebellion 2 out of 3 times that I've gone there, so I would suggest trying to go there as well. Now, I was able to meet up with him partially because I've followed several of his rituals that he released. I took part in the March Rider. I was gifted the bear form. I was initiated into the bear tribe when I went and visited him, but I'm not a goods member. I'm still doing harsh physical training that he's been putting me through, and I've had to increase my protein intake, and I'm doing the Knights of the Round ritual, and developing my magical personality. Now, when I visited him, he initiated me into the bear tribe, and I went into the cave, but then my astral body was sort of sucked off of me and I was booted out, and I was pretty disappointed. And then he did a divination. He's pretty proficient in both runes and the tarot, and he said that I was going to be tested. Now, before I went to sleep, and I was sort of a half sleep, half awake, I had some sensations of there's being skulls in the cave and an elder shaman and stuff like that. And he had also told me that my body was being prepared. Next 2 nights I had normal dreams, but then what can be described as a hunter's lodge came for me. And it's not a hunter's lodge like goods. This is a lodge that would attack Illuminati or go after someone that they thought would have some spiritual value, but they do it for their own means and to get power. They don't have the same spiritual aims as goods does. And so it was one of the most scary spiritual experiences I had. The reptilian experiences I had actually weren't that scary because I had so much power to kick their ass. And I actually haven't seen them for about a year because Bearheart says that I'm not worth it as a target because I would give them too much. I would put up too much of a fight. Anyways, when this group of astral magicians basically attacked me, the banishing pentagram and trying to X them out and trying to all these different tactics to try to get them away from me were completely ineffective, and that's why I started to panic until I transformed, basically shape-shifted into my bear form, and then I was able to rip through the spiritual bonds that they had on me. And I mean, I was almost toast. Like, it felt like they were taking my spirit away from me. And I can't get into what they're doing. But, yeah, it was really, really, really scary. And speaking of the LBRP, I'd been doing it the Golden Dawn way with the Jewish god names for about 3 years, and I never had a bad experience, and it seemed to banish things like it was supposed to do and keep things away from me. And I would do it every night before bed, and I did it one night before bed in my apartment, and I got woken up in the middle of the night by what can be described as, it looked like a baby / the mascot for Dirt Devil vacuums, but he was completely black, and he was fidgeting or like poking me with something, and I tried to X him out, I tried to banish him, and the banishing pentagrams did work with a lot of effort, but then since then I've been doing the banishing pentagrams the goods way with Mars and Venus, and I haven't had a problem. As well as I've been building up my body a lot with the middle pillar ritual and the solar breathing under a New Direction video. That's really helped me. Oh, another note about the bears. Since I came home, I rewatched the bear video, and what he said about putting on a lot of muscle and the skulls being in the cave really reinforced what I had experienced as well. And before, a long time ago, when he first released the bear video, I got a bear claw put into my heart, and it was really painful, and I tried to keep it in as long as possible, but I ended up taking it out, and it was a thorn. And so, you know, I had questions about whether or not this was legit until later I found out it was very legit. When he let me, he's very gracious. He let me stay at his house. I had a lot of different experiences. There's wild spirits there. They're very protective. There's satyrs there. I've since seen wolves there. One night I had a dream that I went into the underworld, and it was pretty pleasant, except I did see some people that seemed to be trapped there. And when I came back, there were hands that were trying to pull me back down into that realm. And I went and woke him up, and he helped me. He got up and helped me do the middle pillar ritual, and told me to do the solar breathing from the New Direction video. But he also added something to that I can't talk about. But it's also helped me so that things of the lower realms the lower realms beneath Taparath can't touch you. So one more note is I haven't done evocation of a non-deity level spirits. Of course, that would be invocation, just because I had really bad experiences with ghosts and spirit possession when I was a child. And so I've pretty much stayed away from that, and I've had a healthy respect of things, and I research things a lot before I do them. And I read a book by Lisowinski, who's Rigardi's student. And Rigardi would go back and forth between believing that entities, spirits, are 100% in your mind and psychological, and totally under your control, or being independent intelligences, which may have to be brought under your control. Lisowinski, of course, believes 100% independent intelligences, and in fact, if you go back to Middle Age magic, magicians like Agrippa and Solomon believe that they are 100% independent intelligences. And it's sort of a New Age phenomenon from Crowley that believes that these things are 100% psychological. And this comes from videos I've watched recently on the Goetia and the Necronomicon. Now, even if you believe that Cthulhu and things from the Necronomicon are 100% psychological, your thoughts become reality. So you're still opening a doorway in your mind for these things to manifest, and that's not a good thing for some of these entities that you shouldn't be messing around with. And like Bearheart said, Crowley got eaten for lunch by Corizon or Trizon, so it didn't really work that much for him. So yeah, contracts. Now he's taught me a way to do evocation, which hasn't also been released yet. I think he's probably working up to that, and will be in one of his videos soon to be released, but I'm going to try it. I have evoked one entity before, an entity who had come around, who may or may not be considered deity, not well known, and I was able to make her manifest in the mirror and give me her sigil. Now, regarding, again, the solar breathing and the middle pillar, it has built up enough energy in my body so that I am able to astrally project. And I think that that's probably been my problem, or some people's problem, who's only been able to partially do it, because you need that amount of energy to transfer your consciousness to your astral body. It's also since increased my health, like my chi, magical power, and mental stability in balance. So those have been my experiences. Take it for what it's worth, and I enjoy walking this path with you guys.